naturally, because he learns how the technology is applied in real life. And the government, the NEP also had advocated to develop a national research association council, in fact, National Research Council, and had earmarked some 25,000 crores that they would be spent, or they would be allocated to different universities and institutions for research work. Although National Research Council, NRC, hasn't still been very active, but I'm sure in due course of time it will become active. And the name of ministry from the Human Resource Ministry to Education Ministry and so on also they took place after the NEP was accepted by the Government of India. There are a lot of administrative changes that are happening, and that would facilitate the availability of funds to different institutions at regular intervals. Basic problem in India is that we spend very little on research work. Research cannot happen without financial resources. Institutions cannot generate that kind of the kind of resources that are needed to do basic research or even application research unless they get some funds from government. And that's what would happen now through NEP. In fact, during Corona and immediately after Corona, the funds dried out. There were hardly any research funds that were allocated to institutions and universities during Corona or immediately after Corona. So that created a gap. And I'm sure that kind of situation would not happen once the National Research Council takes place or becomes active. So these are few things that NEP is supposed to contribute towards development of it's not only indigenous technology in development of scientific temper and ensure that once that's the basic basic premise that is needed for any discovery or any development. Although we know that in India, the kind of jugaad that is that Indians do, and in fact, people get really astonished that uneducated Indians are able to do the kind of jugaad that in villages you find a lot of jugaad is being used, specifically related to agricultural equipment and even transportation. You'd find so many adaptations of the equipment that are there that you get really astonished how uneducated people are able to do that. So that means for doing or for developing indigenous technology, you don't need a lot of education. You need a clear thought process and intention to develop something that can help you or solve your problems. That means you need to have that ingenuity that you would always try to solve your problems rather than depending on somebody else to solve your problems. In fact, poverty has been a boon for developing indigenous technology, because otherwise, had the people had a lot of income, probably they would have purchased outright things that they tried to develop themselves at very, very cheap rate, cheap cost, because they had no other option. That is also important at times, that when you have no other option, you need to develop it. ISRO's cryogenic engine is one such example. When you have no option, you have to do it. cryogenic, ISRO wanted to get that technology from Russia. It was blocked by US, and India had no option but to develop cryogenic technology in India. And you know that that's going to be the main cryogenic engines are going to be main engines for taking payloads in the space, specifically the spacecraft that will go and come back and land, they need cryogenic engines. So I'm sure one more thing I would like to add here, it's not only development of technology that's important. It is the proliferation of those technologies in other spheres, other areas. That's as important as developing a new technology. So when you develop a technology, when we talk about indigenous, I would not go into that only by modifying or using, using jugaad. You call it indigenous. I will call any technology that is developed from scratch in the country, would call it indigenous. And proliferation of those technologies in industry becomes far easier. ISRO has developed so many technologies for space mission, and all those technologies are proliferated in different industries and are now used to develop different products. So that becomes easier when the technology is developed in the country. So proliferation becomes easier. Use of that technology in other sectors, other areas become easier. Since we have two learned guests, I would like to stop here. And further, as and when I get a opportunity, I'm going to talk on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I, with your due permission, I would like to add something. RGPV is very soon is going to implement that NEP in the recent meeting taken by the Honorable Indrajit Parmar, sir, Ministry of Education and Vice Chancellor, sir. They are going to, Minister of Education, they are intended to introduce, one is the Vedic mathematics in the curriculum of the engineering. Another one is the IKS, that is Indian Knowledge System. And the UHV, the UHV1, UHV2, that could be the part of the curriculum of the RGP in the engineering. So that will certainly helps to understand the technology and science and technology, the use of this indigenous technology techniques. Dr. Alok Mittal, sir, can I have the same the views on the point of management education on the NEP? Some views from your side? From the management education point of view, use of indigenous technology is in light of the NEP or anything else you'd like to share with you?
Thank you so much, sir. See, as a person from management background, I have my own perspectives related to indigenous technology, and from empowering the economic growth of a nation, indigenous technology will help attain that. Am I audible? Okay. So one is that we can expect empowerment of economic growth of nation. Hello? Yes. Thank you. So one is that we can expect empowerment of economic growth of nation by use of indigenous technology. It will contribute to India's economic growth. Second one can be that we can have enhancement of national security, because when we buy or import any foreign technology, then there is always a threat of breach of national security. So because it has been imported, howsoever we may modify it, but still it has come from some other foreign country, there can be a chances of breach. So when we develop our in-house technology for any particular application, then we can rest assured about the national security concerns. Thirdly, we can have sustainable development, because this will give us opportunity to go with the clear mindset that any new technology is going to give us returns. And then it also creates a culture of innovation. Why? Because development of indigenous technology is a growth engine for innovation. And that is the reason why in educational institutes, yesterday also we organized here ideathons, etc., where students from different institutes participated and presented their ideas. So some of the ideas developed by students become a milestone in development of technologies in future. And then it also provides, last but not the least, cost-effective solutions to the expensive foreign technologies. As Dr. Bhakar sir had mentioned about cryogenic engine, another example comes to my mind. Long back, when Indians were trying to develop supercomputer, at that time I recall USA had not provided us the supercomputer, so the development of first supercomputer in India, Param I think was the name of that computer, is a classical case of indigenous technology which has been developed by Indian scientists. So this is what I wanted to share from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. As sir talked about the Param, I would like to add something information for you people. As sir told, US they have denied to provide the Cray supercomputer to the India. So in 1980s and 1991, then Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi, he has called one of his scientists, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy, I think. Yeah. So he was appointed as the chief of that CDAC center, and now it is known as the DIT, Department of Information Technology. तो बेसिकली जो यूएस ने अपना जो क्रे जो कंप्यूटर था वो हमको देने से इसलिए मना कर दिया कि उनको ये लगने लगा था कि वी विल टेक द यूज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कंप्यूटर सुपर कंप्यूटर इन द वार फील्ड एंड मिसाइल rather than healthcare and other kind of things. So that was the initiation of the Param, and Mr. Vijay Reddy, the man behind that, he also awarded the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan by Government of India for his contribution for the Param supercomputer range. In presently also the Param series is also exist, and first Param that was set up in IIT Guwahati. So sir just talked about the Param, so I thought I must share the information with you people. Yes, anybody from your side, if anybody is having any query regarding NEP and other things, so he or she may ask anything about the very esteemed panel. Otherwise we move forward. Is anybody having किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है अभी तक के सेशन में? Yes. But a mic. Are you want to ask something? No? Okay. Yeah, madam, please.
Sir, I would like to add something. As we are talking about indigenous technology, recently Mr. Sonam Wangchuk from Ladakh, he has innovated laser beam technology for internet network, and that is a new thing I have heard. Thank you.
I just recall one more information about the Param. In fact, Mr. Reddy actually he is leading the Vigyan Bharati, and he is basically from the Akola, Maharashtra, and he also won the Maharashtra Ratna Award, in fact. And right now the Param 2000 series and Param Nakshatra, that is in use, in fact. So that was basically a parallel computer, though computer students say they know what is the meaning of parallel computing. So that was one of the best example of the use of indigenous technology which we used in the field of computing. डॉक्टर शर्मा सर, मैं आई हैव सम आपके तरफ से कुछ व्यूज अगर आप पुट अप बता सकते। एजुकेशन बीएड टेक्नोलॉजी के बीएड कोर्स में इंजीनियरिंग टेक्नोलॉजी का व्हाट कुड बी द पॉसिबल यूज ऑफ दैट?
I am from teacher education. I am from teacher education. I would like to tell you every knowledge is science, which is proved practically. And teacher education is not producing teacher only in the schools, colleges, in every field. So, Agar sir told about indigenous technology, jugaad. So education is not required to invent any knowledge. It is why his efforts till the ending of getting the aim. This is my only message to you. Every knowledge is science, which is practically proved. And teacher education is also a science, by which students are prepared in every field, not in only schools only. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Well said. Knowledge is science, and we should try to acquire more and more knowledge. And the scientific application for developing a product, that is actually engineering. Is you all are engineers. So engineering is nothing but the application of, we can say, development of the product by using scientific applications, analysis, and designing and testing the particular product. Ashijan sir, can you put some light on the examples in the field of space and research of use of technology?
This space technology now, we all know that nowadays in every and each field in our daily life we are using space technology. जैसे कि एग्रीकल्चर इन फील्ड ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, आपका कहाँ पे जो आपका लैंड है वो लैंड कहाँ पे कैसा है, वहाँ पे किस टाइप की खेती की जा सकती है. नाउ वी कैन नो बाय द इमेजिनरी सैटेलाइट्स. So we are now collecting the data from satellites and we are sending to the agriculture scientists and engineers, and now we are through this data we are able to know that what kind of farming can be done at which area. So and other navigation, now without using our car map or mobile phone Google map, we are not going anywhere. Everyone is using the satellite data, and we are using in navigation and meteorological. Now meteorologicals predictions are now very accurate. We are able to know that what weather today is going to be. So in every field we are using this space technology. और जहाँ तक इंडिजिनियस टेक्नोलॉजी का बात है, तो इंडिजिनियस टेक्नोलॉजीज को बोला जा सकता है जिसमें सेल्फ रिलायंस मिले हमें, जिसमें सम काइंड ऑफ इनोवेशन हो, और साथ ही साथ इनोवेशन होने के साथ हमें कहीं इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट मिले, है ना. दैट इज़ द इंडिजिनियस टेक्नोलॉजी. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. 2008 नाविक कंस्टॉलेशन, जो कि इंडियन रीजनल नेविगेशन सिस्टम है, तो उसका प्रोजेक्ट शुरू हुआ था, एंड आई वाज द प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर फॉर क्लॉक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम्स. तो वहाँ पे कुछ प्रोक्योरमेंट स्टार्ट किया था, और उस प्रोक्योरमेंट में बहुत ही स्मॉल कंपोनेंट था, और वो एंड दैट वाज कॉस्ट ऑफ अराउंड 7 करोड़ इंडियन कॉस्ट था. क्योंकि ये फॉरेन प्रोक्योरमेंट होता है तो ये टाइम लेता है. लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ये प्रोक्योरमेंट जो है काफ़ी स्मॉल कंपोनेंट है और काफ़ी महंगा प्रोक्योरमेंट है, हमें कुछ डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए इसका. इनफैक्ट फॉर्चुनेटली आई गॉट वन पेपर विच वॉज पब्लिश्ड फ्रॉम आवर कलीग ओनली एंड ही वॉज रिटायर्ड दैट टाइम. वो पेपर को देख के मैंने कुछ वर्क स्टार्ट किया एंड इट टुक 1 ईयर. 1 साल लगा उसको करने में. लेकिन मीनवाइल जब तक प्रोक्योरमेंट फाइनल स्टेज पे पहुंचता, मेरा भी जो डेवलपमेंट था वो काफ़ी आगे पहुंच चुका था. और फाइनली जब प्रोक्योरमेंट का एंड था और फाइनल प्राइस नेगोशिएशन के लिए जो फॉरेन पार्टी है, एमएकॉम फॉरेन पार्टी थी, अमेरिका से आई हुई थी, तो हम लोगों को नेगोशिएशन के लिए बुलाया था. तो उस टाइम मेरा टेस्ट होके कंप्लीट होके मैंने डेमोन्स्ट्रेट किया. और जब हम वहाँ पे नेगोशिएशन के लिए पहुँचे तो मैंने उनसे बोला कि हमें आपके कंपोनेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. तो उन्होंने कहा क्यों? तो मैंने बताया कि नाउ वी हैव डेवलप्ड अवर इंडिजीनियस दिस कंपोनेंट. तो वो काफ़ी प्राइडली बोले कि नो इट कैन नॉट मीट अवर स्पेसिफिकेशंस, इट कैन नॉट कम्पीट विथ अवर कंपोनेंट. तो जब मैंने उनको रिजल्ट दिखाया तो वो सरप्राइज थे कि हमारा जो रिजल्ट था वो उनसे बेटर था. उन्होंने जॉब ऑफर किया मेरे लिए, लेकिन मैंने कहा मुझे फॉरेन नहीं जाना है. तो यदि आप बिलीव करते हैं, मैंने बिलीव किया उस पेपर पे जहाँ पर उन्होंने एक इंडिजीनियस सिंपली वायर से, उसका कॉस्ट अराउंड 1000 में पड़ा. जो करोड़ में हम प्रोक्योर करने वाले थे वो 1000 में आ गया. लेकिन मैंने बिलीव किया कि हमारे जो कलीग थे, जो सीनियर कलीग थे, उन्होंने ये प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल है. तो इस टाइप से आप अभी ऐसे हमारे यहाँ आप कॉलेज लेवल पे है, तो कॉलेज लेवल पे भी आप कुछ इंडिजिनस डेवलपमेंट करेंगे, आपको फंडिंग मिल सकती है. ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम हैं, अलग अलग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, CSIR है, इसरो है, DRDO है, अलग अलग प्रोग्राम्स रन करते हैं जिनके थ्रू आप, यदि आपको प्रोग्राम्स मालूम हो और आपके पास कोई आइडिया हो तो उनके थ्रू आपको फंडिंग भी मिल सकती है. जैसे इसरो का एक प्रोग्राम है रिस्पॉन्ड. तो रिस्पॉन्ड के थ्रू यदि आपके पास कुछ आइडिया है तो रिस्पॉन्ड हर साल इनवाइट करती है, सजेशन इनवाइट करती है. यदि वो सजेशंस अप्रूव होते हैं तो देन यू कैन गेट प्रॉपर फंडिंग एंड प्रॉपर गाइडेंस ऑल्सो. तो इस टाइप से चाहे तो कॉलेज लेवल पे भी आप बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं.
थैंक यू सर. या प्लीज.
इसरो ने 2 लाख रुपया SCSITS इंदौर को दिया है बच्चों टू डेवलप सम इंस्ट्रूमेंट दिया. तो वो 2 लाख के लिए तो अगर हमारे बच्चे तैयार होते हैं तो वी कैन अगेन गो फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रोग्राम. तो हमारे बच्चों को थोड़ा सा मोटिवेशन की जरूरत है कि हम कैसे सर की हेल्प ले सकते हैं, CSIR में भी सर की हेल्प ले सकते हैं.
कैसे 2 लाख रुपए ले सकते हैं?
कैसे 2 लाख
दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
फंडिंग बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है. इनफैक्ट 2 लाख बहुत छोटा फंड है, उससे भी बड़े बड़े फंड मिल जाते हैं. लेकिन बेटर मतलब आपको क्या चाहिए उसके लिए एक बेस चाहिए होता है. आप सिंपली बोलेंगे कि मुझे कुछ इंस्ट्रूमेंट खरीदना है और इसके लिए मुझे फंड चाहिए है, तो उसके लिए फंड नहीं मिलता है. आपके पास कोई इनोवेटिव आइडिया होना चाहिए जिसपे आपने कुछ काम कर रखा हो, जिसमें आपने कुछ पेपर पब्लिश कर रखे हों. उसके बेस पे वो एनालाइज किया जाता है कमेटीज़ के द्वारा कि ये जो आप बता रहे हैं वो कितना आप कर सकते हैं, आपकी कैपेबिलिटी है या नहीं. क्योंकि बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट रिजेक्ट भी होते हैं. क्योंकि वो इसलिए होते हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने कुछ काम नहीं कर रखा होता है. जस्ट सिंपली सेक ऑफ गेटिंग द फंड वो अप्लाई कर देते हैं. तो बेसिकली आपके पास उस टाइप का नॉलेज होना चाहिए, उस टाइप का आपका प्रैक्टिकल कुछ अप्रोच होना चाहिए, क्योंकि अप्रोच भी पूछा जाता है उसमें. अप्रोच होना चाहिए आपका, और कुछ वर्क आपने पहले से कर रखा हो. देन सर्टेनली उसमें हेल्प मिलती है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं.
So there are so many schemes Government of India, Ministry of Education, those are providing funds for innovation and technology, entrepreneurship and that kind of things. See, say anybody, any student wants to get the assistance, he or she may contact our IEC cell, Entrepreneurship Development Cell. I want to share that that IEC cell that is headed by Dr. Rakeshwari, the Entrepreneurship Cell Professor Saurabh Jain. See, if anybody is having that kind of stuff in its mind, so he or she may contact either Dr. Rakeshwari or Mr. Saurabh Jain. We will help out you. Dr. Sandeep Singh, sir, can you give some examples of use of indigenous innovation in the field of agriculture or material science, that kind of things?
CSIR as such is in the industrial research domain. ISRO has a very specific target. CSIR has 37 laboratories. It's like I can say a garden. You have laboratories for each and every stream, right from chemistry to meteorology to biotechnology to instrumentation to oceanography, food technology. Examples can be the very basis of Indian democratic system, the inedible ink, which you get when you cast your vote. So that is something that has been developed at CSIR NPL, National Physical Laboratory. Again, Amul Doodh Pita hai India. So Indian milk was buffalo milk primarily. It had certain specific characteristics, and to convert into powder form was a challenge, which CSIR took up. CSIR CFTRI, Central Food Technological Research Institute at Mysore, did it. So these are some of the old stories which are relevant even today. They are quite old, but even today, Mysore Paints is manufacturing that inedible ink. In the month of May, April, again you will get it used. So this is what CSIR is doing. As far as CSIR EMPRI is concerned, we are into both new materials as well as in the use of waste materials. So waste material, whatever bulk waste materials are available in the country. If you want to use red mud is one waste which comes out from the alumina industry. For every ton of aluminum produced, you have 1.5 ton of red mud, and it is categorized as a hazardous waste. So if you are ready to use it, Vedanta or Hindalco will pay you around 45 lakhs to get it transported to your house. So that is what the situation is, because if 10 million tons aluminum we are producing 15 million tons of red mud. So our lab has done one thing with that red mud. We have got a technology we developed for radiation shielding tiles. Traditionally for radiation shielding in all the cath labs and X-ray rooms and all those places, we use lead. You might have seen that lead shield beyond which a person stands. So to replace that lead, we developed these red mud based tiles. Basically, it's called red mud because it is more in hematite content, iron content उसमें ज़्यादा होता है. तो उस वजह से उसमें कुछ characteristic properties होती हैं which can help in stopping the radiation. So what we have developed is in all those structures, normally 2 mm lead is used. A 2 mm lead sheet suffices for the radiation shielding, but it is toxic. It's volatile sort of, it lags and all those problems. Again, it is imported. So these radiation shielding tiles comes in 12 mm thickness because it's 12 mm is the industry standard. You need to have production facilities too, and they give you 2 mm lead equivalence. That has been certified by AERB, and right now those tiles are being manufactured by Prism Johnson Limited. So they are manufacturing it, they are selling it in the market by the brand Endura. This is one such thing which CSIR EMPRI is doing. Similarly, there is one more technology which we are working is on similar panels for doors and all those things. So that has also we have transferred recently. So in this way, a lot of things are doing. And one which I would like to add, what Ashish stopped at, that he made something which they were offering at 7 crores. So one more thing which happens is the opportunity cost which comes into play when you are dealing with international players. Opportunity cost is something, means if he had made that device, I am sure if he was ready to go with the foreign vendor's product, he would have offered him at around 3 crores. If the earlier quote was 7 crores. I worked on head-up display technologies. I was part of the team at CSIO Chandigarh which was making head-up displays for all those indigenous platforms. LCA Tejas, HJT36, we did it. Head-up display as such as a device not only halved the rates of all the international herds, Sexcent, and there are a lot of Israeli and American companies which make head-up displays. But now if you go for an open tender for a head-up display, the prices which are being quoted by those foreign manufacturers is almost half. Although we might not be in other platforms, we are restricted to LCA or JT right now. But since we have that technology, So the international pricing goes waywards because the access is the main component of cost. So that opportunity cost benefit with the availability of technology in the country also comes in. And one more thing, the biggest asset of this country as on date is these guys. We have the youngest population in the world, and we were foreseen as a market, primarily a market of lot of people. But now we are changing into the people with potent. So ultimately जहाँ से मैंने बात शुरू करी थी कि डॉक्टर रामन का पैशन था, अकाउंटेंट जनरल होते हुए उन्होंने साइंस किया. आप लोग डिसाइड करो, सरकार मेहनत कर रही है, सरकार ने इंस्टीट्यूट में आईआईसीज बना दिए, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट सेल्स बना दिए, एआईसीटी की स्कीम्स यदि आप पढ़ेंगे. आई बीन टीचिंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एट